We often think of peace as something we just stumble upon, like it's a lucky accident. But what if that's not how it works at all? What if solace, true peace, is something you have to build with your own two hands? In this explainer, we're going to break down the anatomy of solace and see how it's actively and mindfully created. This quote, this really gets to the very heart of it. It pushes back against that idea of passively finding peace. Instead, it frames solace as a project, something you construct for yourself piece by piece, especially when everything around you feels a little cold, a little empty. So where do you even start building something like that? Well, funny enough, it doesn't start with doing anything. It starts with just being. The very first step is to just show up, to quiet all that noise in your head, and to really open up your senses to the world as it is right now. Let's picture this. Our journey starts right here, in this silent, snowy forest at dawn. And notice her pace. It's slow, it's intentional. This isn't about getting somewhere fast. The journey is the whole point. She's not just trying to get through the landscape, she's becoming a part of it. Okay, so this is the very first act of construction, building an anchor to the present moment. By focusing on these super simple, raw details, the sound of her boots, the way the snowflakes look, the feeling of that cold bark, she's pulling her mind away from worries about the future or things she can't change in the past. Each little sensation is like a tether, just grounding her right here, right now. And then you have this, probably the most fundamental anchor of all, your own breath. Seeing it hang in the cold air like that, well, it turns something you do unconsciously into this visible proof that you're alive, that you're here in this exact spot. It's just a pure moment of mindfulness, made real. All right, so from that place of just quiet observation, something starts to shift. She goes from being present in her world to actively starting to shape it. And the goal, to create a center, a hearth, right in the middle of all that cold. Now, listen to the words we're using. Foundation, resources, care, spark. This isn't just some survival checklist, It's a ritual. Every single step is done with intention, with these slow, careful movements. It's basically a moving meditation, where the process itself is every bit as important as the fire you get at the end. There's absolutely no wasted energy, no rushing around. Every single action, from pushing snow aside to placing one tiny twig, is laser-focused on one meaningful goal. And it's that intense focus that just crowds out all the other mental chatter. And the payoff here isn't just about getting warm. Yeah, the heat is great, but it's also about the sound, that soft crackle of the fire. That's not just the sound of burning wood. That's the sound of her focus, her effort paying off. It's the voice of the work she just did. So the hearth is lit. From that center, the work starts to expand. She begins to turn the raw, wild environment around her into a real sanctuary, a place of comfort. And you can see the transformation right here. On the left, you've got the raw challenges of nature, and on the right, her direct, purposeful answers to those challenges. See, she's not trying to fight nature, she's working with it. She's using branches and snow to create shelter and warmth. It's her own agency in action. Each of these things, building the shelter, packing the snow, it builds this deep, quiet confidence. She is taking care of her own basic needs. There's this incredible power that comes from knowing you can create your own comfort and safety from what the world just gives you. And this mindfulness, it just flows into everything she does. Even something as simple as eating isn't rushed. It becomes another chance to just be still, to watch the fire she built, and to see the snow falling inside the little sanctuary she created. And now we get to the whole point. All of the external work, the walking, the building, the gathering, it's all been to clear the way for a huge internal shift. This is where the real solace, that inner warmth, actually lives. If you look at the day this way, it's more than just a timeline. It's really an emotional map. It flows from being aware of the outside world to taking focused action, and then finally landing in this deep state of quiet stillness. The work on the outside created the space for peace on the inside. So all of this brings us to a whole new way of defining solace. It's not just comfort, it's created comfort. It's the direct result of mindfully and purposefully engaging with the world right around you. As evening starts to set in, it's almost like the forest itself is mirroring what's going on inside her. The energy of the day dies down, the wind stops, and this incredibly deep, peaceful quiet just settles over everything. And this is the peak moment. It's not some big, loud celebration. It's a small, quiet, internal thing. A moment of recognition. That deep breath she takes isn't just for air. It's her breathing in gratitude for the warmth, the safety, and the peace she's so carefully built for herself. As we pull away, we're left with this one powerful image. In this huge, cold, dark forest, there's a single point of light and warmth. And really, it's a symbol of how one person can create their own center of peace, no matter how big or overwhelming the world around them might feel. So, what's the lesson here? It's really a simple process. First, just arrive and observe. Ground yourself right where you are. Second, act with purpose. Do something deliberate to shape your space. And third, just sit in the stillness you've created. We all go through our own winters, right? Times of challenge or loneliness. So the question for you is, where do you build your hearth? What are the deliberate, mindful things you do to create your own point of warmth and light?